Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. I am Wiggle and this is 5 easy spots for farming junk. Now what makes these spots easy? Well, first of all, they all have workbenches, so you can break down the scrap or the junk into scrap very easily. They all are easily accessible to low-level players, and they don't have enemies, so you can go in and loot the places rather quickly. You don't have to worry about spending ammo or a lot of time. Now, this farming route that I'll show you won't produce a large amount of any one particular kind of junk, but it will give you decent amounts of quite a few different kinds. Common stuff that you use for scrapping and crafting, the kind of stuff that low-level players tend to always be running low on. So without any further ado, let's get to our first location. And here we are. Location number 1 is the Wayward, actually. Now, the workbenches are not really at the Wayward. They're over there at the Overseer's camp. There's a weapons workbench and armor workbench. The loot is inside. So the location of items is going to depend on whether or not you've done the Wayward quest. So if you've done the Wayward quest, everything's kind of neat and orderly. You actually have access to this room right here. And Smiley will be there if you're later in the game. But yeah, so I mean, this has things like hot plates, which give you circuits and screws, desk fans, which give you screws and gears. Globe will give you cork. There's all kinds of, there's clipboard, there's trays, all kinds of stuff. There's undamaged cigarette packs that'll give you plastic. Aluminum cans, which will give you aluminum and lead, I believe. Coffee pots, asbestos. Coffee cups are ceramic. And there's just kind of stuff all over. It's actually surprising. It's a very small location. You can get in here and loot it very quickly. But it's surprising, actually, if you pick up everything, how much stuff you actually will get. So yeah, this is, whoops, knocked it on the wall, but that's okay. We'll pick it up anyway. So let's move on to the next location. All right, a couple of things I forgot to mention. The first one, the location of the Wayward is right there. There's Vault 76, it's right there. I assume that most people would know that since that's the first actually location given to you as a quest, but just in case, it is right there. Also, at the end of the video, after I show you the locations, I'll show you all the scrap. I'll give you a total of just everything that you get from all the locations combined. Location number 2 is the Overseer's house, which is right here. So, there's the Wayward, there's the Overseer's house. And as you can see, that is the fast travel spot where I started from. So there are workbenches right here to break things down, as well as a stash box to store things. Now, there's a little bit of stuff out here. You can see this shelf will have varying amounts of ammunition. And there's a little bit of junk out here, outside. But most of the stuff that you want, and there's right here on the shelf, there's another ammo box, there's food. But the real good stuff is inside. And with the Overseer's house, what I like to do is I just like to start from top to bottom. So in this room here, there'll be ammo on the floor usually. There'll be a gun of some sort, which you can break down for scrap and to learn mods if you're still doing that. Ammo box, clipboard, accordion. I mean, all this is good stuff. There is a military ammo bag here, which is ballistic fiber, which is not all that common. Vegetable starch, which is adhesive. And then in this other bedroom, there's usually a fan and a baseball glove. So there's leather and a gear and screws. Nuka-Cola cup and straw is plastic. If you have lockpick, you can get in there. In the bathroom, we got screws and springs right there, which you always want that stuff. Plunger right there with rubber. And usually just toothpaste is antiseptic and plastic, I believe. We got plates. This is cake pans are more aluminum. Tin pitcher, I believe, is aluminum as well. That's oil, the shortening. Let's see what else we got here. Vegetable starch, that's more adhesive. I mean, adhesive is something you're always going to be wanting. You can farm it yourself. Like you can actually, grow the plants and craft it yourself. But this is not a crafting video. This is a farming video. And then downstairs we have a battery, which is acid and I think lead. Been a while since I broke one of those down. And then we have a bunch of junk on this shelf. Fiberglass is an asbestos or Abraxo. So yeah, and then there's also a workbench inside here, so you can break stuff down that you find inside the house. So that is location number 2. Let's move on to the next one. All right, here we are at location number 3, and this is Camp McClintock. And you can see there's the overseer's house, and this is Camp McClintock. Now this is actually a good location for 2 very specific things. There we go. Springs and ballistic fiber. So yeah, this guardhouse right here doesn't usually have much in it. The good stuff, at least the first part of the good stuff, is in here. And the springs are all over the place. A lot of them on the floor, you can see. And they blend in really well with a lot of other junk that you can't pick up. You can see there's a bunch of springs there. A bunch of clipboards, which have springs in them. On the desk there. And right here on the desk. As well as right here in this blue container. And right... well, that's just one. Oh, and see there's more over there. And you got to make sure that you always check the floor as well. I mean, they're just kind of all over the place. And here's where your workbenches are. Where you can break stuff down. There's lockers. That'll have, I think, kind of randomized stuff in there. And there's upstairs... which doesn't have as much. I mean, really, it's that main floor that you're looking for because of all the springs, because of all the clipboards. But then there's containers here. There's military-grade duct tape, which is adhesive and ballistic fiber. So that's good stuff. In here, containers. This is a locked room, but it's level 0, so anybody should be able to open it. That's going to be mostly ammo. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff in there, the other rooms. This one, there's a safe. I think it's level 1. Yeah, it's level 1 safe. So you may be able to. So if you open it, there's, a few random bits. But like I said, the real big part is the main area where you get the... oh, and there's another military ammo bag right here. This locker. This is just inside. I mean, I dropped through the floor, but it's just inside the door to the right. And then the other good spot is behind here. Run around... to not that first hangar building, but over here we have the barracks. And all around here, see there's military grade duct tape, so that's more ballistic fiber and adhesive. And duct tape in there. Another ammo bag, a military ammo bag, so that's ballistic fiber. Another, just a duffel bag. And there's first aid boxes that may have stuff in them, may not. So you want to search both the barracks. Life preserver. Life preservers are really good too. They give you plastic, rubber, and springs. I think it's two plastic, 2 rubber, and 2 springs. There's a footlocker. Level 0, so anybody should be able to open it. And I believe in this APC, there's also... yep, military ammo bag, another one. So this is a place where you can go. I think that's just going to be explosives. So this is a place where you can go and pick up ballistic fiber. That is not something you're going to find just a ton of all over the place. This is a good location for that. Springs and ballistic fiber. Yeah, so let's move on to the next location. Okay, here we are, location number 4. This is the fast travel spot, is where I am. So Ohio River Adventures, which you can see, like if you know where the teapot is, it's just west of the teapot. Camp McClintock is right here, where we just were. And this, now you'll hear Mirelurks in the background, but they will not be seeing you, so you actually don't have to fight them. So from the fast travel spot, just go straight. It'll take you right into the entrance of this place. And it's run by raiders, but they're crater raiders, so they shouldn't be hostile to you no matter what your rep is. They should just ignore you. So what this place is good for is life preservers. There are lots of them all around. And like I said, it's 2 plastic, 2 rubber, 1 spring for every life preserver. But there's other things, fishing rods, and just kind of random bits of junk. And there's a workbench right here to break things down. But there's just random bits of stuff all over the place. But the life preservers are kind of all over, so you want to make sure you get them. There's some over there. Look up, there's some there. Or one up there. And then over here, yeah, there's one over there. Inside the boat, we've got a little spool of fiber optics, which is not all that common. Extinguisher for asbestos, aluminum canister. Then we have Bones here.
Bones.
Yep. He'll always tell you to call him Bones every time you walk in. But then we have a shelf full of junk right here. So more good stuff. Some glue, handmade glue, duct tape. Bags of cement, which is nice. I mean, cement's heavy, but the you can break it down and make it, or at least the bags of cement are heavy, but using the workbench, you'll make it so it's not heavy. And then a little bit of stuff up here, not a lot. A desk fan. You always want to pick those up. Safe that's always empty. So yeah, primarily this is where you come because of the life preservers, because, rubber, plastic, and springs, just that stuff you'll always need. So yeah, that is location number 4. Okay, the last location on our little journey here is the Charleston Fire Station, fire department rather, which is right there. There's the rusty pick. Let's see here. There's Camp McClintock. It's south of there. So, as you can see. But still, no enemies. This is the fast travel spot. Now, there is one enemy inside here, but you can completely ignore them. There's a rad rat running around upstairs, but we are not concerned with upstairs. So, the front door, which I'm assuming this is the front door. So, there's this overgrown fountain here. But if you go in, there's the overseer's cache right there.
Fire breather.
But it starts right here. There's telephones. That's circuitry and copper. And there's stuff in the file cabinets. This table, there's another hot plate. That's circuitry and screws. Coffee pot. If you go in this door right here, so this is the room, if you haven't done it before, where you'll have a fire breather exam, which is a quest. But there's cans, aluminum, regular tin cans, But the treasure is in here. Like the main reason you come here is in here, and that's these weights. They all have lead. And there are quite a few weights in here, and you want to make sure you get them all. I mean, there's barbells, but there's loose weights, and there's some on the floor, like these loose weights, and they kind of blend in really well. So you want to be a little bit thorough when you're in here, and there's some right there. So yeah, there's a lot of weights, and of course you will be over encumbered, probably, depending on your carry weight, because they are quite heavy. But if you just go through this door and around here, I mean, you'll see the fire truck and hang a right. Also, the sound of the robots will lead you to a room that has a couple of workbenches. And then there's other little bits of junk, glue, talking robots, gears. This is level 1, and there's, I think, just ammo in here. Yeah, ammo and a gun. But, yeah, there's bits scattered around in here in the little garage. And you can go upstairs and in the kitchen if you want. It's nothing. So you can hear... I don't know if that's going to come through on the recording, but upstairs you can hear there's a rad rat running around, which you can ignore. I don't ever bother when I loot this place. I just do the main floor. In fact, a lot of times I come and just grab the weights. But there's other stuff. Aluminum cans are always good. And then we got the rec room in here. Oh yeah, and pool balls. Not that many though. That's plastic. So there's a little bit here and there, and you got the cafeteria trays, which are good as well. So that is this location, and that is the last location. So let's get out of here and tally up all of the stuff that we picked up. Okay, well, now that we've looted all that stuff and broken it down, it's time to go over exactly what we ended up with. So we ended up with 38 aluminum, which is something you'll use a lot of. Ballistic fiber, 14, bone shards, some of this stuff. Ceramic, I think that's mostly for camp building stuff. Circuits, they can come in handy. Concrete, another camp thing. Copper, if you use energy weapons at all, you'll know how rare that is. Cork, that's armor modifications. Adhesive, that's just everything. A little bit of fiber optics, fiberglass as well. A lot of glass, but glass is really common, so that's actually not a big deal. I don't even know that it's used all that much. Only 1 gold. 154 lead, though. That's a nice one. That's, if you craft ammo, you need lead. Gears are good. Screws are good. Springs, another one that's you're kind of always wanting. Same with plastic. Asbestos, that's cloth is kind of everywhere as well. Let's see, rubber. I mean, that's a decent amount of rubber. Steel's everywhere as well. Acid, though, that's another good one. Oil's not super common. I mean, it's everywhere, but it's not super abundant everywhere. So, and then wood is everywhere as well. But as you can see, we got, a good variety of stuff. And it doesn't actually tend to take that long. I think you can do the whole run in maybe about 15 minutes. And of course, your mileage may vary depending on how thorough you are with the locations. I didn't loot absolutely. I mean, I looted pretty thoroughly, but I didn't, look in every single nook and cranny. I was trying to do it quickly. So, yeah, but this is a lot of just common stuff that you're always going to be wanting and needing for crafting and repairing. So, yeah, especially for low-level players when you tend to be short on everything. So, well, I hope this was helpful. If it was, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.